How's that? Is that better? I just think we had a little hiccup there on StreamYard. So you guys let me know if you can hear me. Turn on the audio, Gary. Okay, all right, we're back. We're back. All right, audio's up. Sorry you missed the opening credits, guys. Things are a little chaotic in the studio. I tore down the streaming PC this weekend and did a memory upgrade in it. And so it's now got 48 gigs. Why 48 gigs? It seems like an odd amount of gigs, does it not? What it was is my sound man, ironically, got me a memory upgrade kit. What I did not know was this HP workstation is very sensitive. It's very, very, very sensitive to, let me see, am I getting a little echoey? Getting a camera mic, not my primary. Okay, let's see. That is right, and I think, let's see. Let me go into settings here real quick. Audio, voice meter, mic should be voice meter. Hang on. Now, how's that? Now, how's that? Is that a little better? A little less echoey? You guys tell me. I think it should be 5x5 now. Live from a bucket. Yep. That's all the fault of StreamYard. StreamYard was grabbing that webcam for some reasons that I don't understand, despite the fact that I told StreamYard not to do that. But anyway, we press on. As I was saying, so doubly ironic now, my sound guy got me a memory expansion kit and gave it to me when I was up in Alabama last weekend, visiting him and Bluto and Girly Man. And so I came home and I installed it, and I was having no end of trouble with it. And when I looked up the serial number on it, I realized that HP workstation is very picky about memory speeds. You take an average PC, you take a home PC, and the memory is synchronized. It has a clock speed, if you will, that it likes to function at. Well, some PCs will just look at the slowest memory you've got. Let's say you've got speed one that goes 1300, one that goes 1600, one that goes 1800, one that goes 2400, and it'll say everybody's running it at 1300. That's it. This workstation has a server processor in it. The big chip that runs everything is designed for servers. Very finicky. It will not have any truck with that. So I was putting mismatched speed memory in there, despite having enough to fill all the slots. But what I found out was I actually had enough to go to 48 gigs, not 64. But I absolutely appreciate it so much. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys a lot. So anyway, yeah, it's Monday. It's Monday, and you know what we do on Monday? We have Mail Call Monday, which we're going to get to in a minute. Boy, did I get a mail call. I actually got it on Thursday. But it's not Mail Call Thursday. It's Mail Call Monday. And Thursday last week, we had Bob Antone on. And let me tell you what, if you missed the Bob Antone guest spot, after this, if you've got no TV plans for the night, if you're just like, yeah, you know, I'm going to kick back and do it, go watch last Thursday's show with Bob Antone as guest. Bob is the actual definition of a Renaissance man. I didn't get to go into half of the cool stuff that Bob has got going on. If you don't follow him on Facebook, go follow him on Facebook. Bob has been doing some woodworking that is just out of this world. Again, we didn't get a chance to go into that. But please go watch the Bob Antone guest show. And I see that I'm having some internet problems. I apologize. That is completely out of my control. So yeah, that's a thing that's going on right now. Why are you? See, something's a little caught there. Okay. Oh my goodness, I am glad that I do not have guests tonight. My technical acumen is right out the door this evening. I'll have to fish that cable out. But anyway, let's press ahead. You know, I really don't like to bring other internet drama to this show unless insofar as it impacts something. This is something that I may actually do a show on tomorrow once I kind of get the receipts. Folks, I've never held up any person or persons as being flawless. Well, there was one, but it's not really the breadth or depth of our discussions here. But I saw the weirdest damn thing on Twitter yesterday, and it made me so angry I blocked people, which I rarely do. I'll mute you on Twitter if you're being too much of a nitwit. Tabletop RPG spaces on Twitter, at least for old school D&D, other than silly, snarky arguments that I don't think people really have any game in, are generally pretty positive spaces. And I was floored to see kind of the kick up of stuff. Those of you who are in the comic space know the name Gail Simone. I don't know why I see. Maybe it's because Twitter just goes, do you like nerd stuff? Here's Gail Simone. Here's something Gail Simone said. And I don't care. I'll click, not interested, and move on. Mark Morrison, good to see you. Welcome back. I sent my Grenadier Red Dragon, that won overwhelmingly the popular vote, and it is gorgeous. We've done a miniature diorama of it, which we'll do tomorrow. We'll do a miniature diorama tomorrow. We're not doing one tonight. I've got too much stuff tonight. So Gail Simone was letting into Gary, and it was word salad. I don't know if she was trying to be post-ironic. I don't know if she was trying to be funny. I don't know if she thought she was being cute, but she was... I literally don't know. It seemed like a medicated post. Like perhaps she'd had some oral surgery or had a bunion removed, or maybe her back was troubling her or something. And Gail, if that's the case, we'll pray for you. But she just kind of had this weird rambly, ranty mess with no documentation about Gary disliking women so much that he wanted to throw rocks at them and make them leave the gaming table. And of course, someone posted, well, I read an article that said he disliked women gaming so much he made his daughters quit and they hated it, and so on. And of course, we've had Heidi Gygax on the show. We know how far from the truth that is. And I put in and I said, I have worked with Heidi Gygax and Eric Garland. I have worked with Gary Gygax. Everything you're saying, not to Gail Simone, but to the person who was like, yeah, and he turned me into a newt too. I said, you're lying. You are lying. Perhaps it would have been more politic of me to say, you are misinformed. You're misinformed. Maybe that would have been the better route to take. I can't go back in time and undo what I did. I could delete the post, but I think that would be wormy. I said what I said. I've never held Gary Gygax up as some paragon of a human being. Some of the stories that I have heard from people who were there and who had done that would cause the hair on your neck to stand up. Nothing creepy, nothing criminal, just kind of disappointing. But it's not me to judge. In the overall, at the time that I knew him, I found Gary to be a congenial, patient, excellent individual. And I think in the overall, that's how most people remember him, including his family. These people who attack Gary Gygax and try to tear down his legacy, especially with cries of racism and misogyny, will never, ever, 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 ever click one time with them. They'll never roll their mouse over. They'll never scroll up with their thumb. They'll never move their finger across the trackpad and click on the social media links of Gary Gygax's children. Luke holds a convention to remember Gary every year and has for going on 14 years now. Now, cynically, I thought it was kind of going to the dogs. And then I saw Luke's opening. When Luke opened the convention officially on Thursday, was it Friday? Back in February. This is not someone who's, when someone speaks about their father with that much love in their voice, you've all been here when Heidi and Eric have been guests here. This is not someone cynically riding the coattails of their father's fame. All it would take for these misinformed individuals is to simply say to Luke, to Alex, to Heidi, to Ernie, perhaps even to Elsie. I'm sorry, Elise. I always make that mistake. What was your dad like? Or if they had any spine, if they had any backbone to say, I think this about your dad. I've heard these stories about him. But they won't. Because that doesn't get people's attention. A lie will travel around the world before the truth can get its pants on. And that's just kind of where we're at these days, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, I said my piece about it. Hopefully, whatever affliction Gail Simone was feeling at that time has passed. And maybe she'll go back and she'll correct what she said. Wow, my back was in such pain. I took a couple of Vicodin and then tweeted, or it was 4:00 in the morning and I woke up with a little gastro problem and I thought I was tweeting one thing and then I read this. Who knows? Who knows? But I hope she gets it together. I tend to agree with you, Michael. I tend to agree with you guys, but I'm trying to see the better nature of people. I'm trying to be a better person by seeing the better nature of people. I'm trying to be a bigger person. Not bigoted, not narrow-minded, not hateful, not of intemperate attitude. So, with that said, with that nonsense aside, let's be positive. Let's talk. Are you guys ready for some positive? Are you guys ready for some fun? Are you guys ready for some mail call stuff? Are you ready? Are you ready? I think you are. So all of this mail call comes from the one and only Jack Photon. Jack's out there in the audience. Jack, I hope you're out there in the audience still. I saw you earlier. Hello to you. And he is an extraordinary artist who has worked in the film industry. He has done some incredible work. You guys have seen his stuff all over the place. Art prints, hardback book productions. And Jack will have the information for us there. We'll share the information. So we're going to take a look at that. Well, that would be telling, wouldn't it, Vaughn? You'll have to go watch. So let's take a, now the first thing, this was a little odd. Okay, I'm going to switch the camera over, and I pray to God this works, because if it doesn't, I'm going to have to run back and forth like Dr. Tongue's 3D House of Pancakes. If you got that reference, good for you. So let's see. Let me see if I can do this. Given the technical hiccups we had earlier, I hold out zero hope for this. Let me see here. I'm going to... Well, I don't want to spoil anything. That's the problem. I don't want to spoil anything. But if I bring this up now, it's going to spoil stuff. What can I do? I thought I was being clever having all of this stuff set up, but now I realize that I might spoil things. So the first thing we got, and I don't know if Jack threw this in here on purpose, if it was a mistake, if it was just some... I thought it was kind of nice. Let me see. Ooh, scary. Ooh, that's scary. Count Floyd. All right, so let's see. Let's go to Studio View 2. That is not it. Oh, Local Gumby, thank you so much. Jack Photon Guest Fund. I'd love to have him on. Is it this one? It's that one. Okay. All right. So this is just a little notepad from, I guess, it's some place that maybe Jack had stayed for holiday. I'm trying to get that in. Arrived today, made very welcome. Well, that's kind of nice. Arrived today, made very welcome. If you know what this is all about, Jack, I know what this is all about, and I know you know what this is all about. Put it in the chat. You'll win an Internet No prize. Arrived today, very welcome, but I will reveal at the end of the show. I might have to adjust this camera. Let me see. Let's see. Configure video. Are we on camera control? Focus is allegedly auto. Gonna have to... Oh, and by the way, folks, you can't see this, but I have reading glasses. I have reading glasses now. I think I mentioned this last week. So I can see a little bit better. So let's see if we can get a better focus on that. Nope. Maybe move it back, get it a little bit more crispy. Let's move that. Move some things that might be distracting us. Arrived today, made very welcome. That's wonderful, Jack. Thank you so much. Let's see. How's that for focus? That's actually very good for where we need to be. That's actually very good. Okay. Alrighty, so let's take a look here. Now, I want to start with some art prints, and I may get a little fadey on the audio because I'm going to have to step around to where this is at. Shh, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it, Jack. But I want to point something out. The first thing was damaged by the post office, which is unfortunate. All right, so let's take a look at the first stuff. What we have here on the top, we have, and I will turn this around, fear not, set of 3 placemats. Set of 3 placemats. And these are fantastic. So look at this. This looks like something you would see at a pub. I love this. This is fantastic. I'm going to have this laminated. I'm just going to have to. Let me see how that's looking on monitor. Kind of turning that. There we go. So it's got all this cool stuff on it. Advertisements. Now showing at your local art house theater, featuring improved Phantasmal Force experience. There is no honor among thieves. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll kiss 3 gold pieces goodbye. Celine Handmaiden Tours. Moon ships departing daily. This is lovely. I'm absolutely adoring this. And we have 3 of those. Are they 3 separate ones? They are 3. I thought they were the same. I thought it was like 3 of the same. But we'll carefully set this aside. Then we have Astral Assistive Association, Died and Lost Direction, A Copper Scion Passage, Ghost Carriage Dispelled, Silver Cord Wrapped Around a Tree, Banished from Your Plane of Origin, Think Happy Thoughts, and the nearest Astral Associate will soon be there to assist. So this is awesome stuff. Stay Hoblet, Cozy Lakeside Cabin Inns. Voted #1 destination. Locksmith, Emergency Lockout Services, 24 hours every day, everyest day of the weekest. I can't do that, Jack. And then the third one we have here, because again, these are all separate. These are all different. Oh, we have a Star Trek themed one here. Jack Photon's 40th Fantiversary Revision. Star Trek, the role-playing game. House Rules. Dragon Magazine. Oh, very lovely prints. Thank you so much, Jack, for these. And I will sit down kind of between the stuff I'm showing here to catch up on any comments or supers or anything like that. So don't want to miss that. Those are crap prints. You can send good ones. The placemats are all ad work. I thought I recognized those. So yeah, these are all awesome. Let's take a look at the next batch. Now this is where my heart kind of starts to break because, again, the post office damaged these. Thank you, USPS. So there's our placemat ads, and we're going to move those. And now gaze upon this in wonder and gaze upon what the post office did down there on the edge and what they did up here. The tube was semi-crushed by the post office, so this has some wrinkles. I adore it still. This is a draft check by Jack, and this is the Book of Finite Spells, the foil cover for the Book of Finite Spells, and it is very pretty. But let's move on. Another wounded one here. And again, Jack, please do not for a minute think that I am impugning you, because this is all courtesy of the post office. But this is the Book of Exalted NPCs. Again, a chrome print fixture. I love these. Draft Check 3 from Jack. Lovely art, lovely layout. And I think that is it. So that's it for the print stuff. That's it for the print stuff. And I love it. All of it. With a purple umbrella and a 50-cent hat. Living, loving, Jack Photon's art prints. Come on, that was funny. You guys know it was. But yeah, that's what we get for trusting the post office. That's not Jack's fault. That is purely the wonderful men and women of the United States Postal Service. Okay. I've got this. Hopefully you have the matching tile in your set. This is just, I say just, this is a set of chits tiles for Star Trek, the RPG. That's how we rolled back in the 90s, boys and girls, and even 80s. You didn't have minis, you had chits. And these are from FASA. And they're all here. They just tend to remove themselves very quickly, you know, after being die cut for almost 50 years. So hopefully I can fit that back in there. So that's what's there. And Jack, again, thank you. I was missing like 2 chits from my Star Trek set, and Jack sent me this. So thank you. I'm now missing 2 out of 2 total sets. So anyway, that's awesome. All right. Newman. They were cheap throwaways. Don't sweat it. If you like, I can send you good ones. Okay. Let me, there we go. I'm going to come back in over here real quick for a minute. I'm sitting down, but we're going to get back over there in a second. Just relaxing for a minute. It's pretty good stuff so far, isn't it, gang? That is some amazing kit so far, as they say. You have those in a Ziploc bag. I should probably put mine in a Ziploc bag. Jack, do you know when FASA Star Trek was published? Like week, month, whatever? Have we passed that time already? I'm genuinely curious. I'm not like, do you know? No, I, Bill Sylvie, do not know. So I was wondering if you knew. So many Star Trek. Oh, Vaughn, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate the super, Vaughn. I do. 11 days till Gamma World I-Beast battle. Much appreciated. But anyway, we'll jump back over to the books in just a second. We have a lot of stuff left to go. Fear not. January 83. The story starts Gen Con, August 22, 1980. So they release. That's kind of funny. That's kind of odd that they released it. I shouldn't do that. That'll stretch those out. It's kind of odd that they released it in January of 80. One would think they would want to catch the Christmas crowd. With as big as role-playing games were, and as hot as Star Trek was, you would have thought they would have immediately dived straight in to get it on the bookshelves before Christmas. I can't, Jack. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be. I could try to adjust it. Let me see. Maybe that'll get it. Let's see. It sounds like a great story. Sounds like a fun story to talk about on the show. Let's see. Yeah, that's quote unquote better. Anyway, I should get a small boom or a bipod or something that'll work better for that. I'll worry about it later. I'm more concerned about the fact that, like, I have no bandwidth. I probably sound like a robot right now to you guys. All right, let's take a look. So what we have next. I want to make sure I'm not missing any notes with these. Oh, that's a blank sheet of paper. So the first one is this awesome volume. Ah, good. Yes. That's precisely the angle I wanted to capture it at. And I can't really... Lovely. What I have here, believe it or not, is the Book of Exalted NPCs. And this is another Jack Photon jam. This particular book here is a kind of a 1E like book, and it is a catalog, according to the back here. Recommended non-player classes: Anti-Paladin, Duelist, Jester, Witch, etc. Non-player races: Centaur, Half-Ogre, Dryad, Satyr, etc. Non-player level statistics. Specialty spell equipment list with cost. All 0 and 1st edition NPCs from the Dragon compiled under one cover for the first time. As a dungeon master or as a dungeon adventurer or dungeon master, you will find the contents of this book to be what you have been waiting for. All useful material is now compiled under one cover, especially for players. So hopefully you guys can at least somewhat see that. You know what? The hell with this. There you guys go. And up next, we have the self-same volume, but in hardback. And what I love about these are the price stickers. I love that this is a nice canvas-covered hardback. You guys can check that out there. From the button-down mind of one Jack Photon. We love these. We absolutely adore these. This is an AD&D book. Oh, check out the inside cover. And the other inside cover. A gorgeous volume. And next on tap, we likewise have a mysterious volume. Whatever could it be? There is no title on it, nor on the spine, nor any information on the back. What could we have here? Well, I'm not going to spoil it, other than to say, look at the beautiful artwork, guys. Now, there's a note with this one, so I will have to acquire my reading glasses. There's a note with the next one, which I will read. And it says, Bill, this is the matched pair to the one on your shelf. I had just bound the pair when you mentioned exceptional abilities on whatever show it was, however long ago. Forgetting the cover titles didn't help. This is the last of all the White Ribbon books exclusive to you. All books except one are micro-perfed in this pile. Thanks for the idea. Last of all, transparency, true pages as well. And of course, you guys remember this one. This is the Librum of Gameful Conjurations. So that is a revised Librum of Gameful Conjurations. We have talked about this volume before. Thank you, Jack, as always. And the last one on tap for tonight, the last one we have on tap is the hardback of that gorgeous, scintillating, psychedelic softback we looked at earlier. And this is the Book of Finite Spells. Of course, we have this lovely S-Mart price tag up here. The art, the canvas binding. No more searching through stacks of books and magazines to find out what you know. The book, what you need to know. The Book of Finite Spells puts it all at your fingertips, including all recommended character spells, cleric, druid, magic user, illusionist, NPC spell books, Drawmage, Mordenkainen, Tensor, Bigby, etc. Character spell charts, component lists with cost, player's handbook, Unearthed Arcana, Dungeon Master's Guide, along with GA and the Dragon, all compiled under one cover for the first time. As Dungeon Adventurer or Dungeon Master, you will find the contents of this book to be what you have been waiting for. All useful materials now compiled under one cover, especially for players. A gorgeous volume. Jack is going to drown me in his beautiful homemade first edition AD&D books, and what a fate. What a way to go, right, guys? So happy to have those in the library now, Jack. I have 2 1E reprints on eBay right now that I've used for myself, but I do not reprint the originals. Sometimes I do put these new books on eBay as well. Shop Smart, Shop S-Mart. I created the label from a Kmart label. I doubt Bill's camera could get that good of a focus. No, unfortunately, they can't. These are rinky-dink little cameras, despite what they cost back in the day. But I love it. This is so nice, and I love showing these off to people. I've put pictures of these on eBay before, and it flips, or not on eBay, I'm sorry, on Twitter before, and it flips people out because they're like, where did you get that? Where can I buy one? I don't remember. When did you? And their confusion is palpable, and I love it. It's the impishness in me. So there you have it, folks. There you have it. That is our Mail Call Monday, courtesy of Jack Photon. And just, we're, as the band said, loving every minute of it. So that is awesome, and we thank you so much, Jack, for bringing us the awesomeness, particularly the little notepad. Did anyone get the message? Does anyone know of its origin? Anyone at all? Anyone out there in Dungeon Land? Oh, we will deep dive, Jack. We will. We do. You'll be on, and we'll deep dive. I am thinking we might have Jack on probably either just before or just after the holidays. We're kind of coming up here, guys. Now, let me clue you guys in a little bit on how things are going. So tomorrow night, of course, we'll be playing First Edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Time permitting, we're going to have the Delver's Dungeon monster miniature dungeon diorama. And so we're going to do that. But then tomorrow night, we're going to play some First Edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons for your education and your entertainment, folks. That's right. If you've never played First Edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons and you're feeling a little trepidatious, you're not sure what it's all about, you don't know exactly what the score is, this is your chance to tune in and watch and listen. But more to the point, guys, this is not like a passive thing. This is not fake D&D. Okay, this is not scripted. There's not $9 million worth of cameras and voice actors with a combined experience of 60 years. These are actually people who love and play Dungeons and Dragons on my show. All right, they're not fakes. They're not fakes. But as you watch, if you have a question, ask. I will do my level best to answer it. I can't keep up with every question as they scroll back. So if it goes up off the screen and you're like, but I wanted to know if a gelatinous cube has breasts you can fondle. Bill didn't see my question. Ask it again. Something like that, I might not answer. So that's what we do on Tuesday nights. We play real Dungeons and Dragons, and I answer your questions. Picture it like this is my comic store, this is my game store. I run a game with some cool dudes, and if you stand at the table and you wait for a moment to gently tap me on the shoulder and say, it's like you're saying like negative armor class is good. What's that about? I'll do my best to answer your question. I'll do my best to answer your question because I care about you guys. That's Tuesday. Wednesday, Kyle Schuant runs a pretty good shoot 'em up game, Conflict. Maybe you've heard of it. You should all be here for that. It's a game of modern warfare, the adventure game of modern warfare, and Kyle runs that, and I get to kick back and take my hands off and watch the other players make idiots out of themselves. I mean, have fun. This Thursday coming up, we have nobody in the studio. So I will be getting back to my old stomping grounds of let's learn how to dungeon master First Edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. And L, if you're out there in the audience, a couple of weeks ago, he pinged me in messages, in comment messages on YouTube, and then he mentioned it in the live comments over here about addressing the matter of 1 GP equals 1 XP, and why do we do it, and how do we do it? So that's going to be part of our How to Dungeon Master series. We're going to talk about First Edition AD&D, the first version of Dungeons and Dragons, and to the best of my knowledge, the only version of Dungeons and Dragons that incorporates a mechanism to reward good role play. So for all those stick in the mud types who said, I had to come up with house rules to reward good role play. Yeah, just sit down over there, because guess what? It's in First Edition AD&D. And you're going to see how it all works starting Thursday night. Friday night. We have some business to attend to Friday night. Friday night will be the conclusion of Shocktober Fridays. That's right, the fourth and final installment in our October monthly Call of Cthulhu mini campaign. You don't want to miss it, or its chilling conclusion. So that's our week going forward. We're going to have a lot of fun. And by the way, folks, if you like to have fun, and you like tabletop role-playing games, and for whatever reason, you don't have an epic scale campaign ready to roll, let me tell you about the sponsor of this live stream. our friends at Hellebarde Games. Hellebarde makes the kind of adventures that they'd like to play, whether it's for OSR, whether it's for Castles and Crusades, or even 5th edition D&D. Old School is in play at the table with Hellebarde Games. You can find them on their website, hellebardegames.com, or on Drive-Thru RPG. We love us some Hellebarde Games around here, so show them some love. Show them some love, folks. So yeah, do that. And if you're new here, if you're just stopping by for the first time and you're like, hey, what all is going on here? And you haven't, please click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and tell us down in the comments what you liked about the video, and I'll do more of it. I will absolutely do more of it. And talking on the matter of adventures, something else that's coming in October. You can support us on Patreon, which I can't believe I haven't had this rolling. I have been so discombobulated this evening. Boom. There we are, as I should have done almost an hour ago. It's good to see you. It's good to be seen by you. Anyway, if you'd like to support this show through Patreon or through YouTube membership, you can for as little as $1 a month on Patreon or $1.99 a month via YouTube memberships. Now, if you'd like to support us at the $10 level, you're in luck. Because every month, our $10 patrons and our $9.99 YouTube members will receive a first edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Adventure module written by yours truly or by Kyle Schuhan. This month, before October is out, you will receive a creepy horror-based Dungeons & Dragons adventure ready to go at your table. Looking for something to do on All Hallows Eve? Would you like to cross the Samhain with your friends and loved ones at the gaming table, and you need that extra bit of poisoned pumpkin spice to go? I've got something coming up in the next couple of days that I think should fit the bill quite nicely for you, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you will enjoy that. And that is for our backers at the $10 level. So if you'd like to do that, that'd be awesome. You can do that. Or, you can buy me a coffee even if you want. Heck, you can super chat if you feel so compelled. But the best thing you can do, guys, is tell your friends about the channel. Tell them to subscribe. We are currently sitting at, I don't know. That's how discombobulated I am. When you have a computer taken apart and then you kind of stuff its guts all back together, things sort of get a little bit weird. So let me see here. The only reason I ever go to YouTube on this PC is to go into my studio, so it should come up right there. Good Lord, we're at 4,965. We're at 35 subs away from 5,000 on this show, which is just amazing. Now we're 600 subs away from I won't forget, Jack. I ain't gonna forget. From a hallmark that, I honestly don't think we're going to reach until probably this time next year. It'd be nice to go a little bit faster, but it is what it is. When the channel really took off in January of this year, January 17th to be exact, when I broke the news of Wizards of the Coast's Horrible, horrible behavior. I was seeing subscriptions rolling onto this channel faster than ever. I would sit down and bring up the counter and just like watch subscriptions roll up like that. And I was like, wow. But it started when we were at 1,565, 1,565 subs. And this is the most nutty, like, why are you even thinking about it in these terms, Bill? But it's just my brain. It's the way I'm wired. I thought, hey, I've gotten thousands and thousands of subscribers. No, I haven't. At 5,565 subscribers, then I will have gotten thousands and thousands, because that will be 4,000. A plural of something is at minimum 2. So to say X's and X's of things is to say that you've gotten at least 4 of something. 1,000 is not thousands. 1,999 is not thousands. 2,000s is thousands. So in my head, I said, when the channel reaches 4,000 more subs, then I can say, folks, I've gotten thousands and thousands of subscribers since January. Because 2,000s and 2,000s equals thousands and thousands. It makes no sense at all except to me. So that's the significant number for me. But let me tell you something. I love every one of you. And I thank every one of you for your endless support. You watch the live streams. You watch the interstitials. You've even watched the very few number of YouTube shorts that I've done. And I appreciate it. And I mean, regardless. And there's a self-sustaining fusion critical mass you hit. Like there's YouTubers that have left the platform. I don't mean temporary. I mean they're gone. One of them is a lovely, lovely young woman, Lena, the overly obsessed girlfriend. If you know, this is like a peak mid 2000s meme person who took a single frame of video that people memed and decided she was like this creepy, stalkery, overly obsessed girl. And she ran with it. And she went all the way to being like on Leno. So was it Leno? Or was it one of the... And she had so much fun with it. And she did charity work. But she got into a mental health crisis. Whether it was fighting depression, whether it was stress, whatever it was. And she said, I love you all, but I have to leave. I can't do this. She had millions of subs. As far as I can tell, nobody's really unsubscribed from her channel. And I bet if she came back and looked at her metrics, she would see people that subscribed. She would see that people had subscribed. The point behind this is, no, I'm not going to get 5,000 before November, Vaughn. November is right over there. I could literally reach out and touch November from where I'm sitting. I'm not going to get 35 more subs in 10 days. That's not 9 days. That's not going to happen. Oh, it's not a joke, Vaughn. Gabe Parada, good to see you. Anyway, there's a point where you begin to sustain fusion on YouTube. And this is neither a complaint nor a rant nor self-aggrandization. I'm just mentioning it. There is some point after which you are so subscribed to that more people just want to subscribe to you to see what it's all about. I'm nowhere near that, I don't think. But there's just a point after that where if you're feeding the content machine, if you're feeding the algorithm, it's like an accretion disk around a black hole, or gas in a nebula becoming dense enough to form a star or a planet. Everything just kind of starts syncing together, and you don't have to do anything. I wish I had chosen better words. Things happen spontaneously. Things happen spontaneously. YouTube will say this person has N,000 subscribers. Therefore, he is popular. Therefore, he is good for us. We will put him further up. And folks, I was getting videos during the debacle with Wizards of the Coast back in January and February and March and April, and then again in June, and then in July. But it was primarily in January and February. You could go to YouTube, logged out, having never viewed my channel, open a private tab. I had people confirm this. And my videos about Wizards of the Coast, if you typed in Dungeons and Dragons, my videos were getting promoted by YouTube. I was seeing the video that I made called YouTube Employees Are in Revolt, because they were very upset about the OGL debacle, because they were on the front lines and they were not told to be prepared to deal with the flack from gamers. 60,000, something like that, views, which for me is enormous. Look, I get it, right? A Minecraft YouTuber will get that on a single video on a given day of the week. I get it. For me, that's big numbers, and YouTube promoted that video. So the point that I'm making, not talking about Dungeons and Dragons stuff right now, and I apologize for that. I will reserve this sort of thing to once a week at most. The point that I'm making is the channel is getting noticed slowly but surely, and I owe it in large part to all of you guys watching right now. You know, and I'll plateau. I'll probably plateau well before I hit 10,000 subs. Those of you who are picking out your wardrobe to wear to the GWOC, that's the Great Underground Overland Gaming Convention, the in-person real convention that I will have. If this channel ever hits 10,000 subscribers, I will arrange it. You know, I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it. I would expect my plateau has probably arrived. You know, barring Wizards of the Coast execs getting caught on camera in 4K peeing on Gary's memorial stone in Lake Geneva, I would dare say that it, you know, things are probably going to settle back down. But who knows? They've shown an incredible resiliency when it comes to bad judgment. They'll make bad decisions just like that, without warning. La 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 la. Hey, Bill, did you hear that Wizards of the Coast is releasing a supplement for 5e called Kick a Puppy? You know. And then it'll, well, shit, I got to talk about this. I do have a pretty good, and that goes back to something I was saying earlier. Gail Simone's horrible take aside, and Gail Simone's isn't a gamer. I would surmise that she's not a tabletop gamer of any metric, so I don't really consider this part of that. I think it's just geek culture. But no, by and large, if you stay away from like the the bro SR kind of mindset, it's like, I'm a Sigma male because I only allow sandbox sex crawls, or whatever. I don't permit people to play other role-playing games ever. If they played in my D&D game, I will slap the books out of their hands. Oh my God, please stop it. Just fucking stop. That aside, the old school D&D community on Twitter is actually a lot of fun. I don't click. I said, have you heard about this latest outrage that this side of political aisle's doing? Not interested in this tweet. Mute this person. This trend is harmful or spammy. It's very simple. And my feed stays full of wonderful people who talk about tabletop role-playing games. It's only rarely that you get people creeping in and terrible stuff coming up in the feed. So was she? Yeah. Well, it's been 10 years since that. No, not that was, I was thinking of a different Dash Gate. I really feel for the folks at the Watergate Hotel. It's a lovely hotel by all accounts. And now it's anything controversial that happens is Dash Gate, Gamer Gate, Comics Gate, Bill Gate. That's a little joke there, little humor. All right. No, you're not wrong, Bob. And I warned people in 2014. I said, tabletop role-playing games are going to be next. Tabletop role-playing games are going to be next. Nobody listened to me. You're crazy, Bill. This is a niche within a niche. There's no money here. It was never about the money. It's about destroying things. Do you think the Stop Oil people who destroy paintings care about them? Care about the art? Care about covering up the art? No, it's about destruction. And the people who've invaded the tabletop gaming space, they're not interested in tabletop gaming. They're not interested in their own gaming. They're interested in destroying your gaming. And once they're done with you, they're not going to go back and sit down and play a role-playing game. No. They're going to find another niche hobby to destroy. Which is why appeasing those people never, ever, ever works. Because when the dust settles and your hobby, needlepoint, yes, that's a real thing, anime, video games, tabletop role-playing games, tabletop war games, is flensed. And the people who kowtowed to them are all that's left in the vendor space. It then collapses because they don't stay and support the ones they said were allies. They just scuttle on to the next thing to destroy. And I've warned you guys about that. Not you guys know that. People at large. And they didn't listen to me in 2014 and 15 and 16. By 2018, it was too late. So don't come at me with, oh, Bill, have you played the N,000th version of an OD&D retread? No, I've been playing first edition AD&D, which is what you should have been doing. But you wanted to fracture the hobby. You wanted to reinvent the wheel instead of focusing on the fundamentals. And here we are. Here we are. Ancestry. Yeah. Yeah, my algorithm modifier just went way down. It certainly did. Volcano, that only works with YouTube memberships, not Patreon. Patreon's not plugged in to YouTube. You got to do a YouTube membership. I can't change it. You got to sign up for a YouTube membership, buddy. Anyway, what time is it? Oh, it's only a little after 9. We can go on for a little bit longer. I can go on for a little bit longer. I don't know about you guys. So that's what we got coming up for next week, as I had mentioned, or for the week coming up. Next week, we are back to November. So I can't remember if it is the first or second week of November, but we do have a guest slotted for one of those Thursdays coming up in November. And it is it's from Brave Alice Games is going to be coming back. I really hope it's Risa. I really do. She's such a sweet person. I'd love it if she was on. I get it if she doesn't want, but I really hope it's Arisa. Anyway, but we'll have some folks on from Brave Alice Game. I just don't know if it's the first or second week of November. Guys, we are this close to the holidays, and probably in December, by December, I'm going to be in a very laid back mode. I'll be doing I'll be doing some kind of Advent, whether it is self-made by me or the missus gets me another lovely Advent calendar. Last year it was the Dice Advent calendar. I still have the box for that sitting here. We got some awesome dice there out of that. I still have it. And the year before, or I think the year before, we might have done the Star Wars Advent calendar, and then we did it the year after also. But starting on the first day of December, we'll have an Advent calendar. I'll do short interstitial videos for the Advent calendar. But come, I don't know, probably second week of December, I'm probably going to ease way back off the streaming and then come back full after the new year. You know, I might do a stream or two. I just need some time for myself, guys. You know how it is. It's the holidays. It's the holidays, or it will be the holidays. We're in the holidays now, by the way. We're officially in the holidays now because last week, the family and I, on one night we watched It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and another night we watched the Disney The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, story of Ichabod Crane. Good night, Mark Morrison. Have a lovely evening. 3 a.m. come early. Yes, it does. The last Advent calendar I got had mini bottles of Crown. They didn't have the bags. That's offensive. First of all, yikes. Not putting man, it's a terrible thing. That is a terrible, terrible thing. It's terrible. It's terrible. So that does defeat the whole exercise. That absolutely defeats the whole exercise. We're in the holidays. No, but we're in the holiday season, guys. The holiday season is upon us. You know, you think when you're rolling into October, you're like, I just left September. It's hot. It's summer. We're still going to the beach next weekend. At least if you're in Florida. I know there's like a big switch. Like once you get north of that Manson-Nixon line, you know, it's like la 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 la. The high is 52. It was 85. The high is 52. Oh, okay. Put a sweater on. Go look at the leaves. They're changing color. All right, man. Damn. You know. But here in the South, like winter comes in January for 2 days and then it leaves. And then it's like back in the 70s and 80s. That's just how we do down here in the Sunshine State. Dungeon Minister! Hey, how was it? The leaves are brilliant here. The day of the rake is upon you. The Marilyn Manson line. I like that one too, Howard. But anyway, no, so it's like you come into October and you're like, la, 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 October, schmucktober, Halloween is 100,000 days away. I'm not worried about it. And then when Halloween is almost upon you, you're like, oh yeah, the very next day is November and the Christmas music and decorations and got to start thinking about Uncle Earl and do we hide the bourbon and so on and etc. And you know, you chug right along to Thanksgiving and then it's like, well, Christmas and then New Year. So guys, the year is effectively over is what I'm saying. So I'm looking forward to just putting my feet up and coasting into 2024. I'll have some thoughts on 2023, of course, at the appropriate time. I mean, you know, we're still the rest of October. That's a quarter of the month, November, December. So we're 2.25 months away from kicking over into 2024. But I'll have some thoughts. I'll have some thoughts with you guys. That'll be like a day in January, Doomsword. That's right. The Witch of November. Yes, there's a day that Volcano God and I both think about. She celebrates Christmas from December 24th to January 6th. Let Advent be Advent. Christmas can start. That's interesting, Chris. I've never done that myself. I mean, is it Dungeon Minister? Is it the Orthodox Church that does Christmas in March? There's one of the Eastern branches that does Christmas in March, but I don't know. Oh, I'm ready to take the tree down on the 2nd. I'm ready for that tree to get packed up on the 2nd. I couldn't go to a Christmas tree bonfire with my tree, Dungeon Minister. The fumes from the plastic would render people unconscious. Eastern Orthodox Christmas is usually in January. Okay. But anyway, we're probably just about donezo. I tell you what, next 12 minutes to 9:30, does anyone have any questions for me? D&D related, not D&D related, show related, not show related. Give it to me. Keep it relatively clean and somewhat on topic. I had a friend who his family put up a holiday tree in like October, and they would decorate it with Halloween stuff. And then they would decorate it with Thanksgiving stuff. And then on December 1st, they would decorate it with Christmas stuff. Not layered on, not like there's Halloween decorations underneath the Thanksgiving decorations, which are underneath. Yes, I am. I'm absolutely willing to share my cheesecake recipe, Volcano God. Car Wars 6th edition thoughts. I've only ever played 1st edition Car Wars. I have no strong feelings about it. I know that by the time we got to GURPS Car Wars and a series of hardback books and box games, Boat Wars, Helicopter Wars, that it became an arms race. Who could go to the game store and buy the most Steve Jackson game stuff for their Car Wars games would win. But I know they've also streamlined a lot. I have the massive Car Wars box set around here somewhere. Thank you very much, Volcano God. It's yours if you want it back, though, as is a great amount of this stuff. And I have the re-release Car Wars box set that they did back in like 2015, 2016. Oh, very cool, Jack. Send me the link and I'll share it around. Share the actual Cheesecake Dungeon Minister if I could get it to you. What's my favorite? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm missing questions here. Volcano God, I will send you my cheesecake recipe. Does anyone out there want the cheesecake recipe? I'll share it on social media if you want it. So Howard Hughes says, what is my favorite method for populating hex maps? Very easy. The 1st edition Dungeon Master's Guide. Roll for each hex's location. Now you can go scale down to the macro. Kyle and I have done like 3 or 4 episodes on populating hexes. If you want to dig through the show archives and find those, we've done some great episodes. You can do it down to as small as a mile. That could get a little maddening if you're trying to populate the entirety of the world of Greyhawk. But just the Advanced Dungeon Masters DMG. Okay, so the notepad arrived today, made very welcome. This is from Port Mirion, Simru. And if you don't know where that is, if you don't know what this is, it is the town where they filmed The Prisoner. And if you haven't seen The Prisoner, see it. Watch it over the holidays, binge it over the holidays. You can knock it out in 2 or 3 days. The Prisoner. And he wrote in his diary, arrived today, made very welcome. If you don't know the story of The Prisoner, I don't want to spoil it here. Suffice to say, it is a mind screw of a TV show. Oh, you think Twin Peaks? You think shows like that know how to do a mind screw? The Prisoner was the original, and this is from the hotel. And Jack sent me one of their little notepads with the note that the main character writes in his journal. Arrived today, made very welcome. Thank you, Jack. I will cherish this always. This is going up here. Thank you so much. The yellow building next to I know the one. Be seeing you. So I hope that answers your question. Matthew Sherman. Hello. Sherman's march to the end of the show. Let's see. What is the best Christmas dessert and why is it Pantone? Why would you eat that big notebook full of paint samples? Now, I know what you're talking about, that cake. I'm not crazy about almond flavors. I mean, I like it, okay, but it's not my thing. It's not my thing. I know how much people love it. Honestly, look, I will die on this hill. I like fruitcake, unironically. I like fruitcake. Fruitcake is delicious. My cheesecake's the best. What was the blancmange thing that prevented the... Okay, so Rover was a drone. His technology is never adequately explained other than it can expand or shrink. It's at least semi-autonomous. It is sent out by number 2 to chase down unmutual villagers and entrap them, suffocate them. The first rover was a robot that was going to be able to inexplicably hover on the water, chase people through land, etc., and had all sorts of nasty implements, hypodermic needles, grab them and inject them, and arms to drag them back and that sort of thing. The first day of filming, they had a set of rails mounted out over the sea for it to roll on. They kicked it off and it promptly rolled out, fell off the rails into the water, and they couldn't find it. And one of the quick thinking special effects people said, hey, we have these weather balloons. If you fill them with water and push them in a certain way, you can make them wiggle and wobble and make it look like they're bouncing and following people. You just got to push them off camera and in the direction you want them to go. And as long as the person is running in that direction, and then we do cutaways. So like if they turn left, we just push one at them from the left. It's not unreasonable at all. Old Grognard says, greetings. So that is the that is Rover. That is what he is. Either terrifying or hilarious. They show a couple of his captures, and just between you guys and me, I think that's probably where a lot of Gen Xers picked up a latex fetish from. But yeah, basically what it is when it would capture someone, they show the person, they'd show their reaction, and then they'd have the actor standing there, and they're obviously there's people off camera stretching the latex over the people, and it's implied that Rover is bearing down on them and either suffocating them to death or suffocating them until they lose consciousness, and then it drags them back, or other agents of the village go and collect the unmutual type. It is, Jack. It really is. I think a modern interpretation of Rover would be pretty damn terrifying. No, for what it was, if they had called the thing with Jim Caviezel anything other than The Prisoner, it could have actually been a pretty chilling mind screw kind of TV show on its own, but they tried to make it this bizarre reboot prequel thing that involved parallel universes collapsing, and I don't even want to talk about it. Yes, Bob, I see what you said there. So 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes. Any questions? Any at all? Did I see one here? Did I? I will say that to a degree, there was that run of shows where Norman Lear basically took Sanford and Son, All in the Family, I think the Jeffersons. Well, the Jeffersons was a spinoff of All in the Family, but there were a few Britcoms that Norman Lear lifted and brought to the U.S. I've seen the originals, and frankly, the American ones are better. But by and large, yeah. If you love your heart, if you like beauty and truth and kindness and goodness, never ever, 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 ever watch the U.S. attempt at Spaced or the U.S. attempt at the IT Crowd. Joel McHale is riotously funny. I literally can't. And that's why he did it. But I've never seen the British The Office. I found parts of the American version riotously funny. What Fallout was my favorite? 3, probably. I do like the weird Minecraft base building of 4. But stuff, by and large, like I would play 3 with 4's engine and map size in a heartbeat. I'm not one of those people who falls over himself to gush about Fallout New Vegas. I get it. But, I had heard for years that there was an American Red Dwarf show coming, but I don't think it ever made it to film, unlike the IT Crowd and Spaced. Oh, there was an American Red Dwarf. Ouch. Which Elder Scrolls? I haven't played Starfield yet, Volcano God. I don't have enough PC to run Starfield. I've got plenty of graphics card to run Starfield at medium high. I've got a 1080 Ti with 8 gigs. It's water cooled. I can overclock the hell out of it. But I've got a 4th gen. I need at least a 7th gen. I have seen people try to play it on a 4th gen, and it's fucking 11 frames a second with FSR and 80% resolution scaling. So it looks like ass. It looks like Grand Theft Auto 5 on a PlayStation 3. Favorite Elder Scrolls? Oh. Yes. I like them all. Warts and all, they all have their beauties and they all have their advantages and disadvantages. Arena, for all its jank, was groundbreaking. Daggerfall. Now, I'm not counting the weird one-offs like Redguard or any of the mobile games or anything like that. But they all have their wonderfulness. Oblivion was such a visual treat. It's so gorgeous. But then it suffered from things like the Lego dungeons. It's so like, by the time you're 35th level, there's bandits with ebony armor like 5 feet from the front of the of Imperial City, and the fact that the end game is you watching a cutscene. It's like literally, you get Sean Bean to the end of the game and then just wander off. You don't really do anything. You watch him turn into Akatosh the Dragon God and fight Dagoth Mehrunes. But it's got a lot of great set pieces leading up to it. Of course, Shivering Isles was great. Shivering Isles was almost like here's a complete other game. It's DLC, but it's a complete other game. Holy crap. But I also, I mean, I can't knock Skyrim. Skyrim is magnificent. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do with 6. How do you top getting to fly on a dragon and fight dragons? So we'll have to see. Oh, Chris asking the hard-hitting questions. Do I know if Troll Lords is going to publish Castle Zadig Upper Works? No idea. The last time, I don't really know if I should get into this. You know what? I'm just going to leave it be. I don't know. I honestly don't know. On my behalf, someone reached out to them about Teeth of the Barkesh Noor, and it was the most canned sort of, well, we certainly would like to, and that's on our list if we ever can. Just kind of, letterhead, chat GPT-4 generate a response for me here, kind of non-response. So I'm not hopeful for Upper Works. I mean, let me tell you something. If you want something from Jeff Talanian, go buy Hyperborea and Hyperborea stuff. You're getting great material if you buy Jeff's Hyperborea stuff. Don't worry about Upper Works. Hello, Todd. Hello. I ain't doing that, Jack. Okay, any other questions? We've kind of overshot my stated goal of the bottom of the hour. So if anyone has any questions, any comments, any high dollar super chats, now's your chance. Was that just today that Enos got fired, Todd? I thought that was yesterday that he was given his walking papers. I'm sorry it took that long. You guys almost had us. I was at that game. I know, Vaughn. I know, buddy. I love you all regardless. That is about football, Dungeon Minister. It was yesterday. Okay. Well, listen, guys. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Be here tomorrow night because we're going to play some first edition AD&D, hopefully with a minimum of technical errors. Let me knock on wood when I say that. Thank you to Local Gumby for the $20 super, Vaughn for the $10 super. Thank you all so much, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow with my thoughts and feelings on many things for the first half hour, and then at the top of the hour at 9 o'clock, we'll start some first edition AD&D. Guys, until then, how do I feel about the new game Palea? Don't know about it. Oh, Volcano God, thank you. Oh, okay, all right. You know what? You super chatted me, and thank you so much writing up a super chat to ask me my opinion on Monk as a class. Awesome class, core class, needs to be in there, needs to stay in there. People that complain about it don't know what fun is, and they dislike beauty. I love the Monk class. That is my feeling. So thank you, Volcano, for the super. Normally I would leave it up there, but I'm about to dip out. So whether you're a monk or a paladin, keep your eyes peeled and watch out for those owl bears. Peace. I love you all. Good night.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Make it as a toad all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to